Hi all, right, welcome back to more Fields of Fire, the Normandy campaign. Mission 2, Cerisy offensive. Is that right? Yeah. This is my part 8. Not sure how much time I've got. I feel when I'm going to get called away at any moment. So, I thought I'd just get this started and see if we can get this turn finished, because we're just halfway through turn 4. My phase marker says enemy higher HQ event segment. That is next. There was something on my mind. What was it? Yeah, I had noticed at one point I put a comment in the header, and Andrew actually confirmed that I was talking about trying to, at the end of the last mission, about trying to fire a grenade to get the experience point for firing a grenade. And I was wrongly talking about possibly launching a bazooka from a card to another card. And I was watching that back, I thought, that's not right, Grant. I'm sure it's just hand grenades, like on the card, grenades thrown on the card. So I put a wee comment in the header on that, and Andrew did come and confirm that was the case. You only get the experience for them. So, yeah, that was the only thing that was on my mind. So let's just push on. So enemy higher HQ event. And remember, we are still on the last turn of the counter-attack. For goodness sake. Right, I seem to be drawing that an awful lot these days. Right, before we shuffle, we do not get an event, at least. So, yeah. Yeah, this will be the last turn of the enemy activity, trying to do... I think the fact that both the enemies are pinned, anyway, I don't think that they're going to have to... Yeah, I think I said this already. They're just going to have to refer to the pinned lat chart, aren't they? Yeah, because they can't look at... It's only if they were in good order they would be looking at the enemy offensive activity check assault column. But, while they're pinned, they still revert back to the other table, the enemy lat pinned. Right. Okay, just shuffling away here a little bit. Okay, so we're going to move on. In fact, that's where we're moving on to, isn't it? Enemy activity. Right. Enemy activity check segment. Okay, and it is going to be, like I just said, both of them are pinned. Well, there's 3 units. There's 3 different units on this, and there's 2 on this. And both are pinned. There's no any other enemies, is there? No. So first of all, we need to decide which card. So this is a 1 and this is a 2, right? And we get the 2, so it is across this side. Right, now, this is the first time I've had multiple different sort of split units on the card. So I want to say that... In fact, it should tell us on here. On each card, it says on each card, check lat pinned units first, then good order units, and finally leaders. But before we got to that part, it's a shame it didn't actually say that on that bit, but I suppose before we got to that part, we had to randomise to find which card. So we've got our cards, so we're going to check the lat pinned units first, then the good order units. Now, my guess is if we had more than one lat, well... Hang on, they're all pinned, aren't they, Grant? I'm forgetting about that. So do we need to... randomise between each one? They're pinned undercover. I'm not sure, actually. Does it make a difference, Grant? It might. I don't think it probably will, but let me see if I can find any more regarding that then, just before we push on. I get the feeling that it's maybe not going to matter, because it doesn't look like there is a mention. Here we go, 8.6.2 activity checks. This is page 65. During an enemy activity check segment of each turn, check each enemy unit individually. First, randomly determine in what order to check each enemy occupied card, which we've done. Then, within each card, check pinned LAT units first, then good order units, and finally leaders. Well, the thing is, if we look down this column, that's the wrong side, Grant. If we look down this, it discusses pin stuff at the top. I said that pin take priority, but that's how the card lays them out anyway. So you'd look at the pin first. But right, yeah, they're all pinned, Grant. So it doesn't really matter. So I don't think you have to randomise between the actual individual units. Surely it would say that there, you know. Each enemy unit checked only once per turn. Enemy units which are placed on the map or who take actions or attempt to take actions as a result of the enemy. Yeah, do not take an activity check. Yeah. That's fine. Hang on. No, it doesn't seem to mean, you would think it would be telling us to randomise. However, there was a bit before within the game where I asked Andrew about, is there a rule that tells you how to do this? And he's like, no, but if you've got a choice between two different things, what do? You randomise that. So it could be that that's the case. What I'm going to do is, I'll get the feeling that it just doesn't matter, and that's why it's not saying anything. So I'll do it. I'll do the squad and then is it assault fire team or whatever it is second, and we'll see if it would matter come the time. And or shouldn't you just randomise between the two anyway, Grant? Let's see what they would do. Let's see what they would do before I actually draw a card to see. Are they pinned? Yeah, hang on. Well, you can see the state of them. They're actually pinned under cover. That's the one we're going to be looking at. So it's pretty straightforward. This one doesn't apply. They're not beside an opposing unit. So that doesn't apply. That's the one that's not undercover. That's the one that's undercover. So they're either going to carry out no action, or they're going to rally, or they're going to fall back. So does that matter in what order I carry them out? And when we come across the other card in the woods, they are pinned. Oh, actually, they are pinned on the same card as opposing unit and not undercover. So they're going to do no action. They're going to move into or seek cover. They're going to rally. They're going to fall back. Well, can a pinned paralysed team look for cover? Because that one could matter to how in what order we do them, I think. Because whoever seeks the cover first maybe succeeds, then the other unit that go and carry out their activity could then move into the cover. So it might matter on who does what first there. I'm just checking what pinned units can do. They must be able to seek cover, because so attempt to seek cover, or the instruction wouldn't be there. So they can do that, but let's just check paralysed teams. Move to an adjacent card, but only the staging area is friendly occupied with no VOF. Well, see that's the only movement action they can carry out. So they can't even move under cover or seek cover. The wee asterisk down the bottom that's linked to that says pinned units and paralysed teams must drop any assets or casualties they are carrying before they are able to move to an adjacent card. Yeah, I mean that is their only allowed movement action. Paralysed team, move to an adjacent card, but only if that card is a staging area or is friendly occupied. Now, is that's all applying to everybody here? Because this is within our actions. Are the enemy bound by these rules here as well? Okay, I was just about to give up there, and I just noticed this wee note. This is just in that area. It says, note, LAT restrictions apply equally to friendly and enemy units with the exception of requiring a friendly occupied card to move to. Right, I think that 8.6 0.1c, that's where the enemy do not require for an occupied card to move to, if I looked up that rule, but that's not relevant again. Also be aware that the automatic retreat movement of paralysed teams and litter teams is not affected by these limitations. These restrictions do not apply to pinned vehicles, which have their own set of penalties. So it does seem to say that all these, because it's just you're coming away from the command and control side of things, and this is all about how we deal with things, and then you've got these here. So fortunately that wee note there kept me straight, only just, but I would have had to, there's nothing else that talks about pinned, or in the enemy section there's nothing there. So as for pinned, yes, they can attempt to seek cover, and the options were going to be, what did I say again? No action, move into or seek cover, rally, fall back. Well, they can, as a pinned team, they can attempt to seek cover. However, as a, well, hang on, Grant, hang on. No, yeah, they can, because they're pinned. And it's and that's why it says there, and that's what I was trying to say. This state takes precedence over any of the limitations listed above. I see. I almost got caught out with that myself there, because I was looking at a paralysed team and saying, well, a paralysed team can't seek cover, but this takes priority. He's pinned before he's a paralysed team, if you like. I mean, he's a pinned paralysed team. So that then makes it okay to just randomise between them all, doesn't it? Because if the first one finds cover, that's great, and then the other two are going to just move into the cover. It doesn't matter in what order you do it. Well, I suppose you could then have the fire team being undercover and the paralysed team's not, unless I randomised it, wouldn't I? I'm talking about here, of course. There's a fire team and two paralysed teams. If I decide to seek cover for the fire team first, if I just say, right, I'm just doing the fire team first, and it fails, and then the paralysed team seeks cover and he finds it, you can see that if he found it and then it was the fire team's turn, he would go under it. So it could be, I think I'm just going to randomise them then. And then, I know it's a lot more drawing of cards, but just to keep it straight, so like I'm going to roll a D2 here and a D3 here just to see which one's going to carry out the activity first. I mean, there's nothing said there, but right, got called away there, been away for a bit on pause. Where were we? We're in the enemy activity phase. We're looking at pinned units. We're randomised it to this card. Yeah, and I was just wondering about, do I need to randomise between the units on the card? And I think I do. I mean, it doesn't look like this makes any difference, but I think that does make a difference. It could mean the difference between a paralysed team or a fire team, maybe or maybe not undercover. So I think there is a difference there. There is nothing to say to randomise it, I know. But like I already said, I mentioned something to Andrew about how they choose the fire. And he said, well, if you've got to choose between two things, you randomise it. And that does say that somewhere in the rule book, doesn't it? So let's just do it, and it's just the cards, okay. I'm not, to be honest, this deck of cards, it moves quickly and it gets shuffled very often. Seem to draw that shuffle card all the time now. So let's randomise between the actual squad and the fire team as a 1 and a 2, okay? And we've got a 1, so it's going to be the squad first. Like I say, I don't think this one does matter. So it was pinned. They're pinned undercover, aren't they? So pinned, they're not on the same card. Pinned undercover. So, and there's no leader with them. So it's on a 4. So this is for the actual 2-step squad. On a 4, he gets a 3. Yeah. 3 might be rally. Pinned undercover is rally. 4 we're doing the fall back. Pinned undercover, that's correct. He has got foxholes. Yeah, so he's going to rally. Now he's a 2-step squad. So he has a line. Right, not doing very well for distractions today, interruptions. Right, so we're going to rally the squad who's pinned. Okay, so it's an attempt to remove the pin marker, isn't it? Which, you're the wrong way, Grant. Which again, I mean, you look, I'm way too far. You look at these and you know, I don't know, I do still feel within, I mean, maybe it's clearer to others. Maybe if I look through in the beginning of this and whatever, right, it talks about actions here. Complete range of possible actions broken into 4 classes. I mean, what I'm trying to say here is, do these apply? I mean, are these applying to the enemy as well as the US? Because, you know, I mean, you look in these actions. You know, it costs you 1 command to do it. It needs an HQ or staff. I mean, that's all referring to us, isn't it? It's not. That's nothing to do with the German teams and whatever. And even when we go to the one that were, the rally actions here, you know, what the one we're actually doing here is attempt to remove a pin marker. It costs 1 command. Well, they're not using that. They don't use that. So, but they do that. I'm sure it's written elsewhere. If I looked, I just always found this rulebook a bit like that. And same way when you look at Rule 6, initially I always thought that was combat from our side of things, and Rule 8's got the enemy, and it's a bit like that. And I know it looks like that's been left the same way. However, not that I'm saying it's been improved vastly, of course, but that side of it's been left in that way. But when you come to terms with the fact that Rule 6 is not just about your combat, but I do, you know, am I just having a moment now? I mean, do I need to look for the enemy to find out how we remove a pin marker? I mean, I've done it already. I've done it. Why am I having why am I challenging this and having difficulty with this? If we look at activity checks, here they are here. See, as indicated on the activity chart, some units such as snipers, that's activity charts. Hang on a second. Yeah, that's clearly just meaning these, Grant, isn't it? It tells you down the bottom, some enemy units such as snipers, spotters, according to their own act according to their own priorities. Do not use this chart. I guess I know what to do to try and unpin a unit, but I assume that you have to go back and use these, you know, to decide. I don't know why I'm having an issue here, because I mean, they will attempt to, if the paralysed teams were unpinned right now, they would attempt, if they got a rally action, they would attempt to convert it from a paralysed team to a litter team. So I would have to look here to find out what it is I do. I don't think this is written anywhere else, is what I'm saying, regarding the enemy. But this section, I mean, the enemy don't spend commands, the enemy don't have platoon HQs that require them to be doing this. I mean, okay, that's all done in the background. It's part of the enemy activity checks. Maybe I'm I don't know. Maybe I'm getting something all twisted up there and confused. But okay, well, I'm just going to do it like it says here. I'm going to remove a pin marker. It's 2 plus or minus, and it'd be all. And again, it would be automatic for them if there was no VOF. But I don't know where to look for that rule and specifically find it for the enemy. I think it's just got to be taken out of that, hasn't it? Hang on. Yeah, I looked about it a bit more. I guess you just have to use the actions that are back there, and they do the same thing, but obviously they don't need commands, they don't need platoon HQs or COs or anything like that. They just do that command. So as to remove, right, looking at the wrong bit, it's over here, Grant. To try and rally that squad, he is a line squad because he's still 2 steps. The fire team here beside him won't be line; it'll be green. So he'll get a -1 to that attempt as well. But for the actual squad, we're getting a 2-card draw, and he's looking for the word rally. Okay. Yeah, and it's not automatic because there's VOS on the card. So here we go. Right, well, he gets it. Oh, he gets 2 of them, which might mean the other one might struggle. So he gets removed from the pin, the squad, but he's still under the foxholes. And then we've got the fire team to check next. And like I say, it's only green, so it's only going to get a 1-card draw to try. Hang on. We've not decided what it's doing. Yeah, that was only for that squad, Grant. We randomised between them, didn't we? Like I say, I don't know if that's right or not, but I feel like I'm going to do it because it looks like it affects the other group that are in the woods there. So it's the same. You're on the wrong side. It's the same. It's pinned undercover. Yeah, so we're going to draw a random 4 there to see what it does. Yeah. That's a 4. He's going to fall back then, isn't he? So fall back, he's going to do. And fall back says move the unit 1 card away from opposing units to the card with the best cover, including cover markers, areas. Prioritise cards out of opposing line of sight. There is a bit, I was just actually at the bit that talked about falling back. I think it's, fallback priorities are here. I'm just wondering, there's a fire team he's pinned. So, well, he must be allowed to fall back. So just jumping back here, so pinned, movement actions, move to an adjacent card but only a staging area, or is friendly occupied with no VOF. Move within a card. Right, I want to say, yeah, this is the one that doesn't apply to the enemy, doesn't it? If I look at that note, there's the note there. Well, restrictions apply equally to friendly and enemy units, with the exception of requiring a friendly occupied card. Yeah, to move to 8.6.1c. Right, okay. So 8.6.1c is movement. Right. Enemy units that move are subject to the same restrictions as friendly units that move. Thus, mark enemy units that move, including ones that fall back or seeks cover, with an exposed marker. In addition, certain unit types are listed on the weapons capability chart, cannot fire if marked with an exposed marker. And then exception, enemy pinned units, paralysed teams and litter teams do not require a friendly occupied card when moving to an adjacent card, since we do not know where all enemies are located. Okay, so he can fall back, and then his priorities over this page here are enemy units that receive a fallback order as a result of an activity check will move towards their own side of the map, generally the top of the map. Choose a card to move to with the following priorities. If more than one move fits, then determine it randomly. A card that is out of line of sight, and then the card with the highest cover value, including the value of existing available cover markers. So they would move into cover if available. And if they were at the top of the row, they fall back off the edge of the map and go away. Right, okay. Sorry, maybe I didn't get all that bit in, but... Right. So looking at fire team, who's pinned. Well, he's going to leave. So this guy's staying under the foxholes, and he's now not pinned. This fire team is going to fall back. He keeps his pin marker. So we can go to here or here. Now this is our guy, isn't it? That's going to be enemy. Okay. Well, that's going to be occupied by us. Is that choose a card to move to with the following priorities. A card that is out of line of sight of any opposing units. Well, neither of the cards are out of line of sight of opposing units. The card with the highest cover, right, it's going to be this one, but if this had the highest cover, yeah, we've done this before. If this had the highest cover, he would move to there, and then that assault team would open up on him. Well, in actual fact, he would return fire as well, because he's a fire team. He'd be all pinned at the time, but, however. So, it's the card with the highest cover value, including the value of existing available cover. Well, there's no cover on that card, no cover on the card, but there's a +1 for the cover here, and there's a 0 there. So that tells me he's going to fall back into the Orchard Grove there. Now, when that happens, he gets marked exposed as well. Oh my. Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. Because when he does that, he wasn't able to fire at this card because it had incoming still on it. He's now fell back. He's now got 2 things in line of sight that he can attack. Oh dear. So, he's going to pick the most steps. And he's going to fire at first platoon. And the first sergeant, and the 50 cal machine gun that are all exposed and under a cover marker. Well, the under the cover marker shouldn't make any difference. In fact, it probably should help. It's just, it is going to be automatic weapons, isn't it? So just coming back to confirm that it is most steps. We've been there before though, Grant. It's rule 6 somewhere. Enemy unit. If multiple cards of spotted opposing units come into view at the same time, which is what's happening, he's falling back and now he's seeing these units and he's able to fire out that card. He can actually fire through into this card. Not that there's anything there because this has got white borders. Or this, but the priorities are card with the most friendly steps, random or equal. Okay, so he's going to fire on that. Now, he's exposed, he's still pinned, so the fire is going to be... yeah, I said automatic weapons, didn't I? It's not going to be automatic weapons, it's going to be all pinned fire. However, that is still a combat activity to check on all of the units, which are exposed. So that's bad, actually. And... not anything we can do anything about now. So it just showed you that guy falling back there has caused that trouble. And he was... yeah, he's got close range. And I picked him as a fire team because the squad itself had automatic weapons. So I think you would pick one with the A-rated weapons. And he's close combat, so actually I said he could fire through there. That's a lie. He's only got close range. So he can only fire adjacent cards. Which is fine, he's quite happy to open fire on the guys, and yes, there we have it. Okay. Right, well that's the 2 enemies carried out their activity check. So now the 3 here, so I'm just going to shimmy the pin marker so we can have a look. So I'm going to randomise these again, because like I say, I do think there could be effect here, depending on which one goes first. So we'll say fire teams 1, 2, 3. And out of a 3 we get a 2. So it's going to be the paralysed team on the left first. And remember, it's pinned. So this is pinned but on the same card, and that's why there was a slight change to what things done. Pinned on the same card as opposing unit and not under cover. So it's the very first table there. Because no, they weren't undercover, pinned. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna we're gonna draw on a 5. See what we get. And we get a 4. Yeah, a 4. So what is a 4? That's going to be fallback as well. Yeah, 4 out of 5 would be fallback. So that paralysed team is going to fall back. Zoom out a bit. Too close in there, Grant. Okay. So this paralysed team is going to fall back. I'm going to leave that pin marker. We're going to have to get another pin marker for this guy. Now he can go to here or here. We're going to have line of sight on both of them. Not able to fire. This is an assault team, isn't it? But it doesn't say that. It just says line of sight. It just wants to get out of line of sight. So we've got line of sight on both of the cards. Now the cover in here is a 2. The cover in here is a 2. But this is one that I wondered about before, because there is a possibility that the cover in here could be 1 if the fire was coming from the white borders. And you can see that it's more than likely going to be, because the white borders are right along here. It's just the green top and the corners that. But I mean, it doesn't sort of go into as much detail in that. It just says, it talks about cover markers, doesn't it? But it doesn't. Fallback priorities. Card with the highest cover value, including the value of existing available cover markers. This can include cards occupied. By opposing units. Yeah, that's what I was saying about he wouldn't differentiate between that. It was just the cover that drew him back to there. I think I kind of have to randomise between these two, really. I mean, it feels like this should be the card you should go to because it's all green bordered, but it's not that clear in the rules about that one. No. Yeah, it doesn't really give me anything there. I mean, right now, sitting there, we're still sitting under +2 cover. I'm just going to randomise that, Grant. I do feel like it should be this one. That's the fact that there's not any. Well, hold on. No. I came to this conclusion before that I thought if we went on that one and let's just say we had incoming fire, there'd be an extra -1 to that, whereas that wouldn't apply to that, would it? So it would take the +1 there though if it was incoming fire, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to randomise between the two. Let me know if there's somewhere that tells me or something that should suggest that it should be this card instead. But so the hedgerow bocage on the left is a 1, and that's what we draw from a D2. So he is going to fall back to here. I'm just going to go with that then. Well, I had to, once I drew a card, that was me committing myself. And so he's exposed. He's a paralysed team. We don't need to look for PDFs, VOFs, etc. So now we've got the fire team and the paralysed team. So the fire team's a 1, paralysed team's a 2. So it's 2 again. So it's a paralysed team again. And we're going to draw on the same part. So we need a 5. I got to reshuffle again. The 5 is a 2. Which is move into or seek cover. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to have to shuffle the cards up. So give me a sec. Right, deck's shuffled up. Right, so move into or seek cover this time, and that's that other paralysed team. So there's no cover for him to move into. We're under this cover marker. There's 3 different cover markers available on the card, and there's a 4-card draw for this. So he's going to attempt to seek cover, drawing 4 cards. However, it is modified. He is green. So he's going to get a -1 to the 4-card draw, making it a 3-card draw. And 3 cards draw, looking for cover. That's a no. And that's a yes. So he finds cover. It is just basic cover. So, interesting. Right, let's move this fire team out of the way for the moment. We'll keep the pin marker still on hand. So what we've got is this paralysed team, which, yeah, is undercover. And he's still pinned. And he's also now exposed because he searched for cover. Exposed, running out of counters there. So that's his state. That's a paralysed team. He's not actually firing. Actually, yeah, we're all pinned fire, yeah. Yeah, so the last one to deal with is the squad here. And he's pinned as well. So, again, the same column. We need a 5. We get a 5. Is that going to be fall back as well, is that? Yeah, 4 or 5 is going to be fall back. No, hold on. Yeah, no, that guy's not undercover. So again, it's random to where he goes. Now, he doesn't mind going back beside another one of his units. Does he? I know packages will not appear beside other German units. So none of the cards are out of line of sight. And, sorry, I should put that back down there. That's fire on the card from our guys. Put that back on. Well, actually, I could open the window again. Hang on. Right, yeah, so none of these are out of line of sight, and it's the same thing. This has got a +2 cover, that's got a +2 cover. And we're not considering the wee +1 because we don't know if we should. So I think I need to randomise between the two. So it could end up... where's it I was reading? Yeah. The card with the highest cover value, including the value of existing available cover markers. This can include cards occupied by opposing units. So it doesn't say it can't include cards occupied by friendly units as well. So yeah, I don't think there's a problem with moving there. We're going to randomise between the two cards, but I don't think there's an issue. I know you can't put packages on the same card, but I don't think there's anything that stops you moving. Enemy units that move, subject to the same restrictions. Let's mark any enemy unit that moves, including one that falls back or seeks cover with an exposed marker. In addition, certain unit types as listed in the weapons capability chart cannot fire marked with an exposed marker. Exception, enemy pin units, paralysed teams and litter teams do not require a friendly occupied card when moving to an adjacent card, since we don't know where all the enemies are located. So it says they don't require it. It doesn't say that it can't be done though. So I'm going to randomise. This is a 1, this is a 2 to see where he falls back. We get the 1, so he is going to join that guy there. So that's a fire team. Well, I'll sort that out a bit. Yeah, so basically we've got the fire team and the paralysed team, both pinned, both exposed on the hedgerow barrage. Fall back to the hedgerow barrage. Okay, so that is all the enemy activity done. Now, do we adjust things now? I don't think you don't need to do it until well, yeah, you should update these as it happens, though, Grant, shouldn't you? Yeah, because as soon as the situation changes, you've got to change it. I do think so, because this is just a litter team now, a paralysed team even. So it cannot fire. So although it's pinned, it still cannot fire. There was that fire team that was doing the firing. So they're not firing at us, we are still firing at them with automatic weapons on that card. Actually, Yeah, so we got when this guy moved back to here, he started firing there. So when the paralyzed team went to there, nothing changed because it can't fire. When they exposed, when the fire team went back, he's got close range. Does he not fire on this card? I think he does. Well, if he doesn't fire on that, he can fire on this. Yeah, no. What it was, yeah, I'm remembering now. If the last step that's got a VOF moves off the card, we would have followed a fire to try and fire it at. We wouldn't have been able to because it's an assault team. Where we had this before, and this is the one Richard brought up about the fire on the card. So we cannot follow his fire, but he can fire on us. But I think when he moves to this card, he then reassesses the situation. But does he go by? See, this was one of the ones that Andrew had says, no, you don't pick most steps here, you just randomise between the two. And I'm not sure if it was this or not. So an engaged unit will continue to fire at the same card. Wait a second. Yeah, I'm not sure here. I'm not sure if with him moving he was firing on this card. Well, this is exactly the same as the time before. I'm going to look back in the video because I think that's when Andrew told me this was in the previous mission. But I mean, right now I would want to check who he fires on based on the card with the most steps, and then yeah, no, hang on. If choosing a target on the same card, unit cover marker with the most steps. Yeah, card with the most friendly steps, random if equal. So, and we know he can fire at this. He doesn't care that there's enemies on this. So there's one step in there and there's one step in there though. So I think it's going to be random. But I'm wondering if it should be random anyway. Well, if you're going to randomise it. Give me a second, I'll look back, try and find that bit Andrew mentioned, was talking about it there. Actually, I think I'm thinking of shift fire. It's when one of the enemies had the shift fire command, and I wanted to choose the card that had the most steps on it. And that's not the case. Andrew brought that one up, and it seemed to ring a bell with me that you would just randomise between the possible other places to fire. So this is a different thing. So it's got one step here, one step here. That's only two cards that it could attempt to fire on. So we're going to randomise between these two. So this is a 1, this is a 2. He gets a 2. So there's going to be now some fire down on this guy. Yeah, that's fine. And it's all pinned at the moment. It'll be small arms if he manages to get out of all that. And we cannot fire back because we're just an assault team. Yep. Okay. And like I say, this is a paralysed team. It can't fire. Yeah, I think that's everything. So a bit of a scare here going to be, but right, let's get this part finished. 44 minutes, yeah. Then I'm probably going to have to get some other things done. So that was enemy activity check, wasn't it? Right, mutual capture. Let's just have a look at this bit this time. Capture and paralyze our team on a card with unpinned infantry units with a VOF rating from the opposing side. That's interesting. So Capture any paralysed alert team alone on a card with unpinned infantry units with a VOF rating from the opposing side. Well, it's not the case, but if this guy had fired on this card, there would have been a VOF from an opposing side, and this would have been a paralysed team on the card on its own. So I think we would have captured that, because we've got an unpinned infantry unit. Capturing any paralysed alert team alone on a card with unpinned infantry units with a VOF rating from the opposing side. So it's not, because there's not a VOF rating from the opposing side, but if he had randomised to fire down on this card, then I'm guessing we would have captured him. That would have meant we would designate, because we both take prisoners, because it says if a side does not take prisoners, convert captured steps to casualties. Otherwise, designate a guard step and remove guard and prisoner steps from play, placing the command display. Okay. And then enemy casualties on unoccupied and friendly. Yeah, we've been at that one a few times. Well, that tends to suggest that if he had decided to fire down this card, we would have captured this, and this would have had to be in his guard, the step, so they would have both went away. I'm going to just leave that there and with a question mark, as in, does that sound right, guys? Yeah. So what about else? We did have another paralysed. Yeah, the other paralysed team is up there, wasn't it? Yeah. So that's fine. Okay, retreat segment. Retreat any unpinned paralysed team. Now this would apply to them as well. So retreat any unpinned paralysed team. However, both the paralysed teams are pinned. So none of that. Then move on, AT combat vehicle movement phase. No, fire mission update segment. So we remove existing incoming. So briefly this guy can see out the card, but then we flip that pending fire mission over. Now that's a mortar this time, isn't it? So it's only a -3. So again, this guy can't see out the card. Can't remember what it is anyway. Yeah, well, he would have been firing, so that's good. Right, and then potential contacts. Right. Well, what are we still at heavily engaged? I think we are, because yeah, we've still got this unit here on the card. There's a VOF there. There's a VOF. Yeah, there's plenty. So we are heavily engaged. So that's good. And we've got a potential contact B here to check, and a potential contact B in open fields here to check. Is that right? Yes. So we'll do a 1 and a 2. Yeah, that's an enemy up there, isn't it? Yeah, he fell back. Yeah. So a 1 for the open fields and a 2 for the other one. It's a 1, so it is the open fields first. So potential contact B, but we're at heavily engaged, so it's only going to be a 2-card draw for this. 1, 2, looking for the word contact. That's a no, and that's a no, so that's good. That's better, that one, because that was the one that we were not only exposed in the open fields, we didn't find cover either. And then this one to check again is the same. It's contact B, but we are heavily engaged, so it's a 2-card draw. That's a no, and that's a no. Okay. Yeah, it's not so bad when you're just drawing 2 cards. You feel quite confident that you can get away with it, but it could have went the other way. You know, it's a card draw, isn't it? So that's a way as well. So that's all potential contact part. Pin recovery segment. Remove pin markers from any vehicle infantry unit that are not under VOF. Well, they're going to lose their, because they move back, aren't they? So these were pinned but they're now not under VOF. So although they're still exposed at the moment, that pin marker coming off. And the same with this guy. Oh, that's nasty. Remove pin markers from any vehicle or infantry units that are not under a VOF. Well, they're not, because we're firing into there, aren't we? And that's where this guy wasn't there at the time. So this pin marker comes off, and then that upgrades this fire now from all pinned, a +2, to automatic weapons, a -1. So it's getting worse. Any other guys pinned? Don't think so. No. Well, not at the moment. We might have some shortly. Right, and we're moving into that now, combat effects segment, so we're about to find out. Yeah, so that kind of went pretty bad for us, didn't it? And yet we had shot them up pretty bad in the last. Oh no, they were pinned. I just started to remember, as a counter-attack, Grant, they should be going under an enemy offensive activity check hierarchy here, but they were all pinned, thankfully. Yeah, we never once looked at the defensive part, did we? No, it was all pinned we looked at. So that's okay. A relief there. Thought that was a major blunder. Right. Well, I don't know. But I'm saying it couldn't have got any worse. Maybe it could have done if they weren't pinned. Right. So combat effects segment. So we need to go through them all here. What have we all got? Nothing there. We've got automatic weapons just on that guy. It's not firing back. We're getting all pin fire from there. We're getting automatic weapons fire from this guy. And then yeah, we've got an incoming in here with a crossfire as well to add to it. It's automatic weapons is actually... Oh no, yeah, this is exposed, yeah. So it's not heavy weapons in there. So he'll not be firing, we won't be counting his ammo. Right, well, let's deal with our guys first. So the first guy is we've got in here. So he's getting +2 fire, +3 for the actual village, that's +5, +1 for the foxholes is +6, and then a -2 for being exposed is a +4. Oh no, stop, Grant. Because he's removed his pin marker as well. So that is small arms fire. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So let me recalculate that. So +3 for the village, +1 for the foxholes is +4, -2 is +2. Small arms is 0. So +2, we get... pin. Thought I was getting away with it there. +2 is a pin, yeah. Okay. So I'll put the pinned on top of there, and then exposed on the outside, because the exposed will be going away in a bit. Right. And the other firing against our units is all in here, so this is going to be yeah. Well, they're all under the same cover. They're all under foxholes, the whole lot there, and they're all exposed. So I'll just move them down to there so we can have a look at the individual units, and well, we'll deal with them accordingly. Do need to draw the card though, Grant, so let's not zoom in too far. So they're all getting +1, +1. That's +2. So that the exposed cancels that out, because they're all exposed, they're all under the foxholes, they're all getting that. So that's not. So they're all getting -1. Every one of them is going to be a draw on a -1. That's not good. That's not good at all, is it? And it just shows you. Yeah. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to do them top left, left to right. So starting with the platoon HQ. With a -1. Here we go. That's a hit to start us. Great. Urgh. So he's line quality. On the line column, he's a casualty. Why could that not have been the card for the actual, damn it, the hit? Right. Okay. So, first of all, let's deal with that first. Well, he's only one step, so the other letter was an F. Doesn't matter. He's a casualty, so he's coming off the map. And, well, a casualty is going on the map. Now, I want to then say that, like I said before, my understanding is that both these assets will get dropped on this card. So I'm going to put them up the top just now. We'll clear some of that up later. And then we've also got the radio situation. So it says there's a 1 in 2 chance of it. Where was that bit? I think it's about under radios, isn't it? It's about communication. Field telephones, radios. Combat damage to radios. There it is there, I think. Up the top there. If the last or only step of a unit with the radio becomes a casualty, there's a 1 in 2 chance that its radio will be destroyed. The radio is destroyed, remove it from play. Otherwise, place the radio marker on the map. You can have another unit pick it up and use it if commanded to do so. 4.2.2H, which is the pickup command, I would think. So it just says there's a 1 in 2 chance. So I'm just going to draw a card, and we're going to say on a 1 out of a 2. We're going to look on the 2. We're going to roll a d2, and if it's a 1, it's destroyed. And if it's a 2, it's going to land on the card. Okay? We get the reshuffle again. Right, let's do it now. No, it's a 1. Right, so that's it destroyed. So I'm going to take it from the first platoon HQ assets, and I'm going to remove it from the map as well. And things have gone from being quite nice to being not so nice all of a sudden. And I'm going to shuffle the deck. Right, deck shuffled. Right, let's move on then. So we've got one casualty already. So 1-1 platoon. And yeah, no, it's a -1. So -1. Oh, you're having a laugh, Grant. How can you shuffle that to the top? Right, what am I looking for? -1. That's a pin. Okay. Not quite so bad then. I'll put him there, and then we'll just stack stuff. I'll just move them out of the way a bit. Right, and I'll shuffle the deck yet again. Well, in the next one, so 2-1 platoon, he's the one with the rifle grenade. He's our veteran team, actually. So, here we go, on a -1. Well, that's a pin, good. Because I really wouldn't have wanted that to have broke down. Well, I mean, to be honest, they're all going to be... Right, I'll just stack them, they're pinned, no more damage done. Right, 3-1 platoon. On a -1. Right, that is a hit. Right, he's line. Yeah, it's the middle squad. It's the one with the rifle grenade for first platoon and third platoon, isn't it? They're veteran. Yeah. Yeah, so he's line, he's 2 steps, remember. So a line is just one letter, it's just a letter team. So, well, actually, that's smoke. Well, hang on, we can give that smoke to the fire team, that because this is going to break down. This is going to come away as well. We're going to get a litter team that's pinned, and a fire team, and that's going to be pinned as well. Yeah. Right, how did that? I picked that up when I brought it from there. Right, that's that. And the smoke. Well, can I give that smoke to the fire team? Yeah. Where was that? Down the bottom. So the fire team's got the smoke. I'm going to get things in a mess here. Fire team's got the smoke. Right, moving on. The first LMG. with a -1 as a pin. Okay, that's okay. Right, I'll sort this out once I've finished. I'm just stacking them all up in the pin bit. Right, the first bazooka, -1. That's a hit. Oh dear. He's veteran. Bazooka's veteran on the veteran column. My. I keep drawing that. Shuffle. Right, we've got still a card to draw on the veteran. It is litter team casualty. So that's the bazooka gone as well. And that's a litter team. No, they're all casualties. I need to find the litter team. Sick. Oh, come on, where are we? Paralyzed. Right, give me a second. Right, there's a litter team from the bazooka. And I'll just chuck him underneath here as well. He's pinned. Right, moving on. The mortar forward observer with a -1. He's pinned. Okay, that's not so bad. Right, the 50 cal machine gun, -1. That's a hit. He is line quality. He's a casualty. He's gone. So, yeah, he's gone as well. Now, I'm not sure how we bring the likes of the bazooka, the machine gun back. If we even can, I'm not so sure. So that's a second casualty. And then -1 for the first sergeant. He's hit as well. He is veteran. Veteran is a litter team and a casualty, so he's a litter team as well. So he's gone as well. And I need another litter team. And he's pinned as well. Okay, well that was devastating. Just shows you that fire, just -1 we had. I mean, I thought it was going to be okay because he was all pinned at first and then he removed his pin marker. So it comes in with -1. And the fact we were exposed, yeah, devastating. So we've got the first squad, the second squad still intact. The light machine gun, the mortar team still intact, and then the rest. We've lost the bazooka, the 50 cal, the first sergeant, the first platoon HQ, and 3-1 squad. So all of these are still under the cover, and I'm leaving the casualties there too because I got a bit muddled up with that in the past. So my guess is that everything's under this cover. I still would like to know about the casualties if they're considered in two different parts of the card. Couldn't they be in two different parts of the card? You kind of think they would be, yeah, but I'm sure I read something previously, but then that was back when I played before, so that could have just been people making up their own kind of conclusions, eh? The smoke and the white phosphorus, my guess, I've got to be under this cover as well, I guess. So everyone's under that cover. Everything on that card's pinned. That doesn't really affect the casualties, and at the moment everything's still exposed. So yeah, that was, yeah, like I say, kind of devastating. So that's the enemy check. The combat. What was it? Combat effects segment for our guys. So we do have to check here and here for them. So see if we can get some revenge. So this guy here is getting a +2 for the woods. He's a paralysed team, so he's getting +2 for the actual woods, +1 for the cover, that's +3, +1 for being pinned, that's +4, and he's being attacked with -3. So he's actually getting a +1, so he's actually better off than what we all were there. So a +1 for him in the woods, and a +1 is a pin. Yeah, so he's pinned anyway, so nothing more doing there. Right, this guy here, well, he's getting the incoming, so we remember the -1. So he's getting +2, +1 for the foxholes is +3. This is a -3. for the it's a mortar for incoming. So that cancels out the +3. He's getting a -1 for that, and he's also getting the crossfire. So he's on a -2. We need something here. -2's a hit. Good. He's line, is he? Yeah, he's the actual platoon. He's 2 steps. Right, let's get this guy. So he's line quality, and we've got a hit on him, and it's PF, so paralyzed and fire team. Well, he would have been getting the P would have been enough, really, wouldn't it? So he's going away, and we need a fire team, another fire team with the A. My guess is. That's one there, and then what did I say? Paralyzed team. Yeah, and he's a squad. He goes back in the randomizer. So here we go. We've got a fire team with the A rating, with a paralyzed team. They are still under the foxholes. They were hit, however, so they are pinned. So we reduced them a little bit, I suppose. Well, yeah, well, we did, yeah, so that's it. Not good at all. Update ammo, right, all fired here. They have nothing that's tracking ammo at the moment, so no. We fired a mortar fire machine, so that's them. We've got 2 left of them. Did our 50 cal machine gun fire? No, it was exposed. Our 2 light machine guns did fire though again. 2-1 was in there, and 1-1 is still there, isn't he? Was firing there, so they both fired. So that's him down to only 2 ammo left. No bazookas fired. The mortar section did not fire. No, it's down. It's sitting down here, isn't it? Not exposed, but I'm right in saying none of them had a target to anything, did they? No, they didn't. No, that's fine. So that's all the ammo updated. Clean up phase, remove pyrotechnic smoke, illumination exposed. I think it's just exposed. Evacuate casualties. Enemies firing at cards without valid target, shift ceasefire. Don't think that's going to happen. And adjust VOF, PDFs, etc. Right, okay, I think that's everything. All exposed markers off. Right, well, let's just adjust VOF, PDFs. This is still firing here with small arms. Yep. We can't fire back. This is still firing here with automatic weapons. They can't fire back. They're paralyzed. This is still firing with automatic weapons in here. This is still firing with automatic weapons in here. We are still firing across there with, well, actually with the white machine gun still there with automatic weapons. So we've still got the crossfire. Incoming stays where it is. That is that. Actually, that red cluster should come off as well. So, yeah, well, that was a bad end to the turn there. Right, we can take the 3 blue cubes away now. That's the counter-attack thing finished. Move on to turn 5. And yeah, just going to have to regroup now. No more contacts appeared though, so that's a good thing about all that. But we've got a bit of patching up to do here, in fact. More than a bit. So we've got a first sergeant that's gone, platoon HQ that's gone, and a squad that's gone. We've got a bazooka, a heavy machine gun, and we've lost the radio as well, so we need to get the platoon HQ back first, and then start from there, I guess. Problem is, we're still getting fired upon by this, so yeah, well, hang on, no, we're going to have to shift fire. We want to shift fire. Yeah, anyway, rather than look into what I'm going to do in the next turn, let's just leave it at that. That's an hour and 10 minutes or so. Right, I better get away. I'll hopefully get another part done before the end of tonight. No guarantees of that one, but and then back to work tomorrow. So I might start drying up a little bit. However, I'll be back to get some revenge after this nonsense. Okay, cheers.